Win as one. EA Sports FIFA 21 sponsors Saturday Social.
There was a lot of talk about a lot of managers, particularly as well, Brendan Rodgers and Frank Lampard. Now, that followed Leicester's 2-0 midweek win against Chelsea, which was a big, big victory for the Foxes, wasn't it? And sports journalist Henry Winter tweeted this. Strong first sentence, I thought. Lampard being schooled by Rodgers. He then goes on to talk about how well Leicester played, and they did play very well that night. It was a good game of football, that. But it was a strong first sentence, that. And it got us thinking about managers in the Premier League. We're blessed to have some of the best managers in the world in the Premier League. But who is the best Premier League manager right now? So it is a tough one. So we're going to get our guests. So we're going to get Stevo and we're going to get Chunkz to pick their top 5 Premier League managers. So to give you a bit of help, we can firstly look at the Premier League just to see how various teams are doing. Now, this has been brought in by Joe Thomlinson, who insisted we show the Premier League table because he's got Man United at top. But what is interesting about this, lads, is that this week alone, you've seen Brendan Rodgers' Leicester, Pep's Man City and Ollie's Man United all top for a period of time this week. That is how close it is. Stevo's West Ham in 7th and Man United, Joe's Man United in top. There is only 8 points separating West Ham in 7th and Man United in top. So that goes to show how close it is. And to aid the debate even further, we can have a look at the major trophies won by all of the managers. So this is major honours by all the Premier League managers. As you can see, Pep Guardiola out in front with 24, Jose Mourinho with 20, Ancelotti's got 15, 7 trophies for Klopp, Hodgson and Rodgers, Bielsa with 4, Solskjaer with 3, Arteta with 1. Don't forget, this is just major trophies, which Community Shield isn't counted as a major trophy, so that's the FA Cup, and Potter with 1. The remaining managers have 0. So, Chunkz, going to come to you first. Who's your 5th best manager currently in the Premier League, mate?
Before we even start, because I can't be out to get ruined on social media. I'm basing this off current form. I'm not basing it off who is the best manager in the Premier League, because my list will be different. I'm just basing it off current form. Okay. So please, guys, let me off. And I might have to keep reminding, maybe like every minute and a half, just because. Number 5, I'm going to go with number 5, I'm going to go with Carlo Ancelotti.
Okay, why have you gone with Carlo, Chunkz?
I feel like Everton this season have been playing very well, been getting results. I think just based off the team that they have, they're doing better than they should do, should be doing, just in terms of like Carlo coming in and doing a job on the transfer window. Because every time people, every time Everton do have a nice little active transfer season, people are kind of like, oh, well, they'll do it all the time. The players won't gel, but they've actually managed to gel very well. And obviously Carlo Ancelotti, who doesn't know how good he is, you know what I mean? So I want to say I'll put him fifth spot. He's done very well this season. Yeah,
good shout. Carlo Ancelotti in 5th. Stevo, who did you go with for 5th best?
Same, mate. Same. I went through the list and I just thought like what Chunksy said there, people doubted whether Everton, with the signings that they made, whether they could gel. And I think he's got a real good team there with a lot of progression to be made in the sense of the players. Calvin Lewin, he's going to get better. Richarlison, if they keep him, he's going to get better. You know what I mean? They've got a few young players that I think are going to get better if they can keep them together. The young centre-half they got from Norwich, then they're going to do well. I don't know how high they can go because the teams above them the same. I feel the same about them as well. Leicester have got young players also, but he's done a good job, man. Good job with the transfers and getting the team to play.
Yeah, agreed with that one. Right, so you both agree with 5th spot. Let's look at 4th spot for you then, Chunkz. And I think this one is an important one to reiterate, isn't it? That you've picked this based on this.
Yes. Before we move on, guys, disclaimer. We are basing it off, for me anyway, we're basing it off the last 5 games. Now, if you look at Liverpool's record, I think that's 3 draws, 2 losses. So based off of that, I've put Klopp in number 4. Now, if we were to do an actual list, Klopp would be top 2 in my opinion. I think it's between him and Pep. Based off right now, guys, I'm saying Klopp number 4. Please do not crucify me. I understand Klopp is a world-class manager, maybe even number 1, number 2 in the Premier League. Right now, based off the results, number 4. Please.
Steve, you're shaking your head there.
Because even if the question was right, who's the best manager right now, I still wouldn't have done. I love you, Chunkz. So he's done it off this. I'm sorry, bro. But what I'm saying, who's the best manager right now? I'm not going to say, well, who's the team that's in form won the last 5 games, because That means you're putting Moyes, you're putting the Burnley managers Chunkz.
I feel like it's boring just saying Pep, Klopp, Mourinho, Ancelotti. It's just like everyone's going to expect
the best is the best, Chunkz. I see what you've done. No, I'm not mad at you, but again, just like at United and wherever he goes, you know what's going on in there. You know what's happening. Whether it actually ends up getting the trophies and all of this, you just know a Mourinho team. And I love that about managers. I love when someone comes in whatever industry and you know what they're trying to do. And Mourinho does that for me. So, yeah, man, he's had a good season. I know the last month or so hasn't been great for Spurs. But hasn't been great for a lot. Listen, the season's crazy. And Mourinho's still up there, mate. So, yeah.
Okay, so you got me to Jose 4. We've got to move on to number 3 because a lot of managers to get through. Chunkz, let's go to you first. Who's your third favourite manager? Do you want to caveat it again? This is now right?
Based on this season, what we're going to do, guys, is we're actually talking about current form. And current form is consideration about positions of the table. So what we've done here, very controversially, we put an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, before you kill me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done very well with United this season. I feel like, as you can see, position-wise, they're number 1. So we're basing this off form, current form. If I was saying best managers, I would not put him in top 6. But because of how well he's done in this season, I've put him number 3. Guys, I'm basing this list off form and not who's the best manager. Please understand this. Understand this.
Steve, I think, I don't know why, but I think Chunkz is basing this on current form, something tells me. I could be wrong.
Because that's what I was told. I can do a whole new list. I don't mind. But I'm just basing this off current form. That's all I'm doing.
We like it. Stevo, you were shaking your head there.
I've gone with Brendan.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to cane him for his Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he's explained that he thought it was now and he's a prisoner of the moment. But for me, Brendan, he should be the England manager because he builds clubs, not just squads and teams. He builds clubs and structures, man. And I think for England, that's what we need. But that tweet about him schooling Frank Lampard, there's nothing wrong with that. Frank can be schooled by a Brendan that's at a smaller team. There is better managers at smaller teams. Sometimes these guys get big jobs and it's too soon. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's what's happened with Frank, but being schooled, Ancelotti could school most people above him, right? So, I'm not mad at that he got schooled. But, Brendan, I'm loving what Brendan's doing. Love the way he talks. Love the way his players never have anything bad to say about him.
Right, let's move on to your second pick then, because there's a bit of agreement coming. I don't even think you need to caveat this one, Chunkz. You can actually just say the name.
Well, I just want to talk quickly about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's not bad. You can't get to number 1 position from Vibes FC. So, number 2, we're going to go Pep Guardiola. Not much to say about him. Just consistently giving you great performances. And I think, he's one of the best managers, not only in the Premier League, but in the world. And just quickly, before you guys, if that's the first time seeing the list, quickly, what we're doing is we're basing it off current form and not the best managers in the league. Thank you very much.
Steven, let's get your second pick then, because I know you've gone for Pep as well. But do you think he turned it around this season? Because of the first half of the season, I think people were questioning him a little bit and questioning his City squad.
Mate, so I think they're right to question Pep, and he's a great manager, but for me, he doesn't identify. He's got Ruben Diaz in now, but I think that could have happened the season before, and he would have been tearing this season with a Ruben Diaz that didn't have to start the season finding his way. But it goes without saying how good Pep is, but he's not my number 1. You'll see who my number 1 is, but he's good. He's second best manager.
There we go.
Okay, Stevo has linked to it perfectly. Chunkz, who is your favourite Premier League manager currently? I believe you're going on current form, because there's a couple of big names that you haven't put in yet. So I'm intrigued to know who you're going with, mate, here.
So, thank you very much for that. What we're going to do is we're actually basing it off our current form. And what you do with current form is you look at the last I'll say 5 games, and just the performances and feel like what managers put in the best shift. In my opinion, that's going to be Brendan Rodgers. Now, I'm a big fan of Brendan Rodgers. I feel like he's done very well with Leicester. As you can see, every single player is playing for him. Just watching 90 minutes of Leicester, I'm just seeing they're coming toe to toe against every team. They've beaten Tottenham, they've beaten Chelsea. Obviously, they played very well against Chelsea. They just look so comfortable, and I think every player is playing very, very well. And you have to, give ratings to the manager for that. So based off of current form and based off of how teams are playing right now, I'm saying Brendan Rodgers is the best manager in the Premier League right now, not in general. Yes, very well. Thank you very much. In general, I would say it would be either out of Klopp and Pep. But if we're talking right now, I'm going to say
right now.
Thank you very much.
No Jose in your top 5, Chunkz, is what we take from that.
No. If we're talking right now, Jose hasn't done anything as a blinder. Just last results, he hasn't done that much for Tottenham. So, just going to base it off right now.
Okay, I think it's off right now. I've got to say, actually, I do agree. Brendan Rodgers, I think, has been a brilliant manager throughout his career, actually. What he's won at Celtic and Liverpool, he had a great time as well. And also how those players are playing for him as well. You look at the way Vardy's performing since Rodgers came in. I think Rodgers is a fantastic manager. Stevo, quickly, who is your number 1, mate?
Klopp. Klopp is number 1.
Right now or in general?
Well, mine right now is... My mind goes back 2 seasons, to be honest with you. Like, I'm thinking, like, I'm not... You can't just have 4 bad games, like I say, and then I forget about the levels he set. But I know what you've done, and you've made a mistake. But Klopp for me is... Klopp for me is... he's still number 1, mate. Honestly, still number 1.
Okay.
All right, there we go. We want you guys at home.
Before we move, please, guys. My top 5 list in general is very different. It's Pep, there's Klopp's, there's Mourinho's, Ancelotti's. I'm Brendan Rodgers still for me. Give a quick shout out to Dean Smith. We've got Southampton's manager, we've got David Moyes as well. Incredible seasons. And my list is based off right now. Thank you very much.